Welcome back, YouTube, to another video. Slow50 checking in here. So I wanted to do a full breakdown build on this car, give you the prices roughly, if I can remember 100% fully, but everything that I have done to this car since I took ownership April of last year. So without further ado, let's get into it. Smash that like button, drop your comments if you think I modded this correctly. I did the best of my ability and knowledge, given I had an S550 I went way too overboard with last time. So let's get into the video. So let's start off with the exterior. RTR hood vent, 400 bucks. So I'm gonna pop up a counter on the bottom left and we will add it all up. It's probably gonna make me cry and be very upset, but it is what it is. I love this car. So then we did the American modified grille. They sponsored the build. They sent me that out. That badge, which I think was 75 bucks. Then Badge Skins hooked it up, gave us some accents with the vinyl and the DRLs. Then I did the designer trim, also sponsored by them. So they hooked it up. Then we move our way to the side. I got those lights off Amazon. They look really sick. Let me just show you. Boom. You see the orange, the marker lights there. Way better than the stock. I believe that was around 75 bucks as well. Then we get to my custom forged wheels from Titan Forge. They hooked it up. They gave me a good deal. I paid about 2,800 bucks. That's Canadian for all four. That's with the beadlock as well. Then we got the Nitto NT55 R2s in the rear, and then the G2s in the front. That ran me about 2,400 bucks. Again, I had a good deal from a friend at a shop that I did a lot of work for in the past. Then we get into some miscellaneous trim on the badges, the carbon badges, and the Hornets. We're gonna just say 50 bucks. Then we did the paint matched side skirt trim here. Designer trim. Then we get to the rear, some graphics. Then we did the LVA wicker bill. I got this on sale. I believed I paid about 250 bucks. It was on sale. Then if you take into consideration the wrap on the car and all the vinyl accents that I did, let's call that maybe about 700 bucks altogether. That includes all the accents. Then you get to the rear. Then what we did was a Borla S-type exhaust. I'm just gonna name the prices of these parts and not actually include like the install and everything, because that's a highly subjective to where you go and who you get and whatnot. So I did the Borla S-type axle back. So that was about $2,500. Then connected to that is the Roush H pipe. That cost me, I believe, 500 bucks. Then we go inside here. I did the aftermarket steering wheel. That was 450 bucks. Then we did the MGW short throw X-Spec shifter, totally worth the money. Swap the shift knob about, but that'll cost you about 1,000 bucks. That short throw shifter, totally worth it. Then when it comes to the engine, oh, another thing I forgot, we PPF'd the whole front of the car, a part on the trunk where you end up loading things into the car, top of the roof, front fenders, front of the car, and the mirrors. That was $1,700. Then we get into the engine bay. I did Stainless Works high flow catted headers. Those ran about $3,400. And then keep in mind, this is all Canadian prices. So before all my American friends down there have a trip and they say, oh, you got scammed, all this stuff. No, this is Canadian prices. Your dollar's a lot stronger, so everything's way more money here, but I digress. Then in regards to suspension, we did white line sway bars and end links. End links, dog water. Do not get them. I am in the process. I've just been procrastinating because it's not a big deal, but it causes creaking. The end links are cheap. They're not good. do not get the white line end links, just get the sway bars. Your car will be creaking everywhere if you do. But that's what we did. The sway bars absolutely make a difference though. They're adjustable. Those cost me 1,500 bucks with the end links. Then we did the BMR cradle lockout in the rear. I believe that was around 600 bucks. That was a really good mod. Like, that's something that you should definitely do right as you drive your damn Mustang off the lot. It's because it just makes the car hook. You lose a lot of the wheel hop. Your traction's better, makes the car feel faster, and it keeps it straight and planted. Then we did also a BMR diff bushing. See, I'm on the fence with that. That's kind of a two-edged sword. It does cause clunking when shifting because you've literally eliminated all the slack with the diff. And instead of having a nice polyurethane, like soft bushing, say from the factory, it has a harder bushing. So you can hear a lot of those NVH noise, vibration, harshness, the clunking, and it does whistle a bit on the highway. It can be annoying, but I listen to my music way too loud, so it doesn't really bother me. But I might take that out in due time just because I hate the clunking when shifting. It makes it feel like something's broken. But here's why it's a decent part. You do notice a difference. You really do. With this setup, the BMR diff bushing and the cradle lockout, I have zero wheel hop. Launches obviously are going to be limited to your traction, but the car is planted and it goes and it launches way better and way harder than it did stock. So that's kind of the trade-off you make. And that whole setup in conjunction with the sway bars made this car so good in the corners. You can take this car at unbelievable speeds in the corners, and it doesn't get tail happy unless you want it to, and it's just fantastic. I know that also comes down to the Magna Ride that is equipped on this car, but it's just a good setup. Another thing I forgot to mention was these mud guards. I got them because these tires were sticking out a bit and they completely started to spit up gravel on my paint, and I was not about that. Those cost me about 50 bucks, totally worth the mod. If you got big if you got big beefy tires, this is something you absolutely need to get. It helps prevent your paint from getting absolutely wrecked. So that's pretty much the full build breakdown of this car. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I actually think I covered everything. I don't know. But yeah, so total is on the bottom left. I would call this like it's floating on the edge between OEM Plus and then modified. It's kind of in between, but it still keeps a lot of the awesome drivability you get with stock. And I think it is absolutely fantastic. I think that this setup is mint. I haven't been really itching to mod it that hard. The car is pretty fast for the street as it is. The next thing that is on the menu for this car is a dyno tune, probably on 93. Get more red line, you know, just make the car dial it in to perform that much better. I do want to get that ESS kit, but I'm also loafing on it because I really am enjoying the car the way it sits. I will boost it eventually, make no mistake, but I really am enjoying the process of taking my time with the build and enjoying it. And there's a few other things I want to get out of the way before I commit to something huge. And yeah, so that's where the car sits right now. If you guys want to replicate a build like this, this is what it takes. Smash the like button. If you like this style of content, let me know down below and I will continue to give it to you guys. This is my Mustang. See you guys in the next one.